Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Dynamite for post-show review. What a banger of a card we have for tonight. Darby Allin defending the AEW World title against Brody King, and MJF is taking on Kevin Knight for the TNT title. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off with MJF versus Kevin Knight for the TNT title match. The fans were loudly behind Knight for opening introductions, as this would wind up being undoubtedly the biggest win for his career thus far. Tony Khan has talked about recently how there's been big plans for Kevin Knight as a future world champion, and it's great to see him evolved with guys like MJF in the main event picture. And that was a very fantastic match to start off Dynamite as well. So MJF rushes Knight at the opening bell, sends him crashing outside, driving him with a powerbomb onto the railing before taking the camera and filming Knight, calling him a bump. Then we saw Knight use his speed to avoid multiple attacks and hit a jumping DDT into a double down as well. Leaping standing splash gets a near fall for Kevin Knight as he positioned MJF from the home run shot, but MJF rolled outside three separate times, with each time being met with a Knight slingshot, crossbody, tope, and the somersault dive as well. We saw Kevin Knight looking for a UFO splash but crashed and burned. Knight kicked free from a finger four leg lock, charged for a corner splash but his legs buckled right in position for MJF to hit a Panama Sunrise for a very close to count. MJF wanted another Panama Sunrise but leapt into a thrust kick with the good leg. Knight went up top and hit a UFO splash but took too long to cover MJF for a very close to count as well. We saw MJF put on the Dynamite Diamond ring as the referee was distracted. Before he could use it, Knight hit a low blow and inside cradle as Bryce turned around, made the 3 count for the flash pin, and MJF can't believe it, he lost to Kevin Knight. Knight slowly got to his feet and held the title high for a brief moment before MJF chop blocked him. MJF was about to use the ring on Kevin Knight, but when Darby Allin did a Sting-esque entrance from the top of the arena, getting in the ring and laying out MJF with the Scorpion Death Drop. So MJF scattered away up the aisle with the microphone saying the fans sucks while two low-life cheaters get along with each other. MJF said he doesn't care about Kevin Knight. He was barely trying in that match. The only thing he is caring about is his Triple B demanding his rematch. Allin said no, and if he wants a shot, he will have to put something on the line against Darby Allin. So I think so it's a great, interesting story to tell what MJF had to put it on the line to get his rematch. If Allin makes it by Brody King tonight, he knows who deserves the next shot, Kevin Knight, and then Brody King's music hit and he powers walk to the ring, staring down MJF before going face to face with Darby Allin, saying he has bad news for Allin. He is not going to survive tonight. Then he told Kevin Knight he's got some bad news for him as well. Next week he won't be facing Allin, he will be facing the King. So it seems that no matter who wins, Kevin Knight will get the next title shot for the AEW World title and next week's Dynamite. So I think so it's a very good opening match and a very good opening segment as well to hype up the match for the main event. Next up, we saw Renee is backstage with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, asking about Cage's fractured arm, but he said it's fine, not to worry about it. Renee asks if they accepts the FTR challenge for Double or Nothing I Quit match, and Cage accepted. Copeland said he's surprised he accepted considering his history with I Quit matches, and a pissed off Cage stormed off saying he never said it. Copeland told Renee he totally said it but won't again. So again, it's official. I Quit match plus the street fight at Double or Nothing for the tag titles, FTR, Cage and Cop. I think it's going to be a fantastic match to watch. Next up, we saw the returning Brawling Birds. Jamie Hayter is back after his minor injury at Dynasty. Hayter wasted no time popping Blade and Jay with forearms as the Birds make quick tags and even faster chops. Windsor mouse down Jane ringside, and we saw Sandwich double lariat led to two birds, one stone for the dominant victory for the Brawling Birds. So I think so. Brawling Birds looks great in the comeback. Backstage, we saw Tekla and Sky Blue. Tekla said she wishes she could stop calling people dumb bitches, but there's too many in AEW for her to stop. Blue said she feels sorry for Persephone, got mistreated last week by Julia Hart, but it's the best thing that ever happened to her. Maybe it will open her eyes as well. Tekla badmouths the Brawling Birds and said one on one she's everything while they are nothing, so they should stick to a tag team and not come after the world champion. Next up, we saw Kazuchika Okada versus Ace Austin for the AEW International title. Don Callis joins the commentary as Excalibur told us Austin and Okada have history competing in New Japan Pro Wrestling. We saw Austin goes to work with strikes and a deep squat Death Valley driver leading to a comeback spring kick sending Okada outside. Okada proceeded to pick apart Austin, even high-fiving a child inside, planting him with an air raid crash on the knee before connecting on his top rope elbow, flipping to the crowd as well. We saw Okada hit his dropkick in mid-air. That looks brutal. Austin ducked a rainmaker into a crazy close backslide for a very close 2 count, but Okada quickly got up and hit another dropkick, this time followed by a tombstone and a rainmaker for the win. So again, a very good win for Okada before his international title match against Takeshita. Post-match, we saw Callis went to attack Austin as Mark Davis congratulated Okada, while Juice Robinson ran out to save his buddy. Takeshita slowly walks out to the stage and signals the international title and hyping up the match at Double or Nothing. I think it's gonna be a must-watch match at Double or Nothing. A video is shown in the Wild West and Bandido most wanted signs around town. People have been attacking and left laying as someone walks out to the bar and stops to pick up a dust-covered Bandido sign. It's Swerve Strickland, the most dangerous man, and Prince Sana as Strickland sets fire to the wanted sign before the screen fades to black. So I think so it's the next program for Swerve Strickland against Bandido, and I think it's gonna be a fantastic feud to see. We recap the footage from Collision of the offer Jon Moxley made to Will Ospreay, making him the most dangerous version of himself he's ever been. We then go to the Death Riders training until Ospreay shows up, with Moxley asking if Ospreay has gotten cleared. Ospreay said no, but it's not stopping him from going to Japan as he and his boys have a big title match. Moxley said, loyalty, you are too good to be true. He tells Ospreay he needs to drop everything that clouds his vision, that makes him see things that aren't there. Then Ospreay says, okay, looks at Pac before asking where's the ring. Then Moxley said they don't do a ring, they start from the ground up, and shoves the camera away. And this was another excellent video as the Death Riders are making Ospreay into a machine on his quest for the AEW World title. I think so it's a very interesting story to tell in the coming weeks until All in Wembley Stadium. I think so it's going to be a fantastic story to tell. Next up is Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus the RPG Vice. While we don't see RPG Vice much as a duo on Dynamite, but they are a solid team, and I think so that was a great match for Copeland and Cage. We saw Stockley saying on commentary that they have nothing to worry about at Double or Nothing, saying they have beaten them before and they will again beat them. And we saw Romero and Cage kicking things off, with Romero going right for the injured forearm as well. And we saw Rocky made attack to Beretta, who planted Copeland with a jumping double storm for a near fall of his own. But Copeland answered with another running boot and dropped toe hold into the ropes as well. Stockley gets up to applaud, not seeing Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong behind him in the front row. Stockley swung and missed Cassidy, who smacked him with popcorn, and the brawl between the FTR and conglomeration broke out. In the ring, we saw Cage was clipped with a running knee of the opening by Rocky Romero. Copeland would eat multiple double pump knees from RPG Vice as Beretta went for strong zero, but Cage made the save, sending Copeland in to hit a cord red on Beretta. Beretta argued with referee Rick Knox but turned it into a pop-up spear from Cage and Copeland for the pinfall victory. We saw post-match, Cage brought a chair in the ring and ripped it apart, allowing Copeland to put a crossface on Beretta using the part of the chair. Cage ordered Beretta to say it as he pleaded, I quit, I quit. So again, I think so. Uh, it's setting up nicely for the tag title match. I Quit, FTR, Copen Cage. I think it's gonna be a banger. Next up, we saw Renee backstage earlier today with Jericho and brings up Ricochet saying the Rico salt is an improvement on the line salt. Jericho said imitation is the nicest form of flattery, but he's pissed off. Before he could say anything, demand an attack from behind as Leona and Khan hold Jericho up as Ricochet said no more subliminal messages as and he just smashed Jericho, slammed onto the table as well, then teased a Rico Sol but landed on his feet, saying Jericho isn't worth it. So again, we are still doing this Jericho and demand feud. I think so. We need something more in this feud as well. Next up is the women's tag titles match. Divine Dominion versus Kris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. The first part of this match saw everyone on different pages as I thought there were some incredibly awkward moments, but thankfully it got back on track in the second half. While we have seen people use partner as a projectile in the past, we have never seen them boot the other in the ribs before doing it. The fans thought Shida was turning on Statlander, who just had to accept what happened before being isolated. It was all very odd, but I think so. It's setting up this tag team as well, and might be a feud between these two ladies as well. Shida attacked both Cross and Bane at the bell, but no sold as Cross drove her shoulder repeatedly into the ribs of Shida in the corner before ragdolling her with a beel as well. We saw Statlander delivering a spinning back elbow, looked for the Wednesday night fever, but Cross rolled through, kicking Statlander into the ropes, where Bane flew in with the leaping boot. Shida hit a double missile dropkick off the apron before taking Cross back inside as Cross hit a thrust kick of her own. We saw Blue Thunder Bomb and Statlander stacked the champs and hit a 450 splash on the pile for a very close 2 count. Meteora off the top rope before doing the deal with the Falcon Arrow for a very close 2 count by Stat. Katana was hit by Shida, but she got stopped by Bane belly to belly suplex. German from Bane and Cross then flattened Shida with their double choke slam for the pinfall victory. So again, a very good women's tag title match on Dynamite. Renee is backstage with Don Callis and Andrade, but are interrupted by MJF, who said thanks to Andrade, AEW is ruined. Andrade keeps mocking him, saying, "How do you know?" and starts laughing until MJF shoves him. Callis calmed him down and said Andrade is his money man. MJF is the money man and said they are all better off when MJF is on top and let's just focus on business. Callis told Renee with wild horses they are going to run. So again, we might be getting a match between Andrade and MJF when MJF wins title back from Darby Allin. Next up, we saw Roosh in action against a local talent. Quickly to the floor, Roosh continued beating the hell out of him before going back inside where he delivered the bull's horns for the pinfall victory. Post-match, we saw Roosh took the mic and said, "When you mess with the bulls, you will get the horns." So again, we are building Roosh up, I think so, for a major match, maybe against Darby Allin. Renee is backstage with the Ops in full force as she asks Joe what the game plan is moving forward. Joe said to reassert their dominance moving forward. It's by Katsuyori Shibata who will kick your head off. Anthony Bowens, who has always been overlooked, and you will see what he is capable of, while Hook will become the TNT champion. Joe told Will Ospreay they had his back when he needed it, but now he has to make a choice. So again, it's interesting to see what the direction of the Ops will be. Stockley is backstage with FTR and said he just left Tony Khan's office and said he has a proposition for Orange Cassidy. Next week on Dynamite, Cassidy versus Dax Harwood. If he wins, he can challenge for the tag titles with any partner. If Harwood wins, then FTR can challenge for the trios titles with the man who took Darby Allin to his limit last week. And we saw Tommaso Ciampa walks in and said the last time he teamed with FTR, he put Mark Briscoe on the shelf indefinitely, and next time they will win the trios titles. Top guys out. I think so. It's a fantastic match announced for next week Dynamite, double jeopardy match. It's gonna be a fantastic match to see. And in the main event, we saw Darby Allin versus Brody King for the AEW World title. To no one's surprise, these two beat the ever-looking crap out of each other, and Allin took some crazy bumps. Shockingly, I know, if ever there was a truer statement on commentary, Excalibur said that Darby Allin is going to take this until the wheels fall off, and these matches the last few weeks have proven exactly that. Really, all of Allen's matches, I'd say Allen survived this one as well, and I think so. It's fantastic world title match on Dynamite. Both men shook hands to start off the match. Exploded out of the gates. Darby Allin hitting the dropkick, tried a coffin splash, but was swatted in midair by a king chop and released overhead German, followed by his corner cannonball. Kanza bomb was fought off as Allin went to the corner. King went outside where Allin tried a tope but bounced off King's like a ball to a wall. King placed Allin on a chair, charged, only hit a chop block, and King ate a face full of chair as well. Allin tried to start a slugfest back inside, and full well King won that exchange as he continued to ragdoll Allin for multiple 2 counts until a running senton onto the knees of Allin. We see Kevin Knight watching from the crowd as Allin piggybacked King with the sleeper. MJF is also shown watching backstage as well. We saw King brought Allin up, who wiggled free and sent King's stomach first into the corner of the commentary table. Allin returned King inside when up top but was cut off in a tree of woe, and King hit a massive cannonball and home lariat for a very close 2 count. Allin is holding onto the padding ringside for dear life as King dragged him away. King got a full charge, wanted a cannonball, but Allin moved and King crashed through the barricade as well. Allin quickly exposed more of the concrete ringside as Allin went up to the apron. Allin slid out and hit a power bomb onto the concrete to Brody King. That looks very brutal. Allin followed him up with a coffin drop on the exposed floor, and you could audibly hear the thud. King just broke the count at 9 but rolled right into a coffin drop in the ring, followed by a coffin drop of his own proper, and Darby Allin retains the title. I think so. That was a fantastic match. Post-match, we saw Kevin Nash applauded from the stands, and commentary said he must not lost sight of Hook as he had a title match, a TNT title match against Hook on Collision as well. King recovered and showed respect to Allin before giving him the ring as Allin stared down Knight. And we saw the graphic of the match next week. It's going to be Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin for the AEW World title. I think so. It's going to be another fantastic match next week. So this crazy run of Darby Allin as the world champion continues. And I think so we are in for a very good title reign of Darby Allin. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.